Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the European crossover webinar. And we are seeing indices maintain the gains that we saw yesterday from those depths as we challenge those areas that we were looking at on the Nasdaq for a trip down to 15,322. I was looking for that area to go to at least before a bounce. We could have potentially gone down to 15,273, which was an ultimate target. But I thought on first run we'd get to 15,322 and then make a move higher. We actually went down. I think it's 15,332, and then we rallied. We came back down to visit, and then we took a dip. I think to 310, and you can see here there's a 38% there. And we continue to push higher. I did share in the chat room. There's a story about the amount of options that are going off for tomorrow's quad witching. I felt that that could end up swinging this market back the other way, which essentially it's done. And then potential, I'm looking for a move between 15,552 to 15,603. That we could swing back up in here. So we may still go on and see that. We'll see whether or not that comes to fruition, but that would be over today into tomorrow. We did go and make a rally, and that made sense for us to come right here and take out this high there. They did that early in Asia, if you see that, and took out that high. It comes across a 15,519, and I think the high was 15,521, something like that. So that's kind of playing out. Take a look at the economic data. Doesn't appear to be anything during the European session. We do have Canadian housing starts, which would be at 8:15, and Canadian employment at 8:30. That'll be a mover. And we do have U.S. retail sales, and that'll be a big mover, expected to be a big mover. Also at 8:30, along with continuing jobless claims and Philly Fed, which is Philly Fed's key. If those come in, I know that the Empire State numbers came in. I think came in at 34, and they're expected 19. Initially yesterday, that gave the Nasdaq a little bit of a 20 handle rally, something like that. Eventually, it did go and fall back, but of course that was pre-cash open. So this Philly Fed manufacturing index could get a little extra boost. So we'll see what we do here in the indices. Take a look at where gold is. $17.86. So that thing continues to stay on the weak side. And crude, we finally got it going here in crude. We've been talking about that 69.55, the top of that zone on the 2-hour chart. That level's been in place since June of this year, and they kind of bounced back and forth. And I did mention that now is our resistance at 71.15. We actually were right there in the European session yesterday. And I said, I'll keep that, because if we get a close above 71.15, that's what you need to get above, is 71.15 to, make another leg higher. So once they got some room above 71.15, they just kept on going. And look at that, from 71.15 all the way up $2 to 73.17. So just looking at the charts, that's it. Nothing else. Just looking at charts and essentially levels. Has nothing to do with oscillators. It's overbought, it's oversold, it's more overbought, it's extremely overbought, it's crazy overbought, it's maniacally overbought. Yeah, it just keeps going higher. So just trade the levels. And And so we're going to take a look where we stand here with FX. Oh, it looks like Bitcoin finally got a little bit of a juice comeback. After defending it, I thought they would have come down to 42,708. Although they did clean out this level here. You see, so they cleaned out some stops there. And we kind of held our ground. We've kind of pushed a little bit higher. So market's doing a little bit better here. And then take a look at the euro. Continue to struggle here. We're just not going anywhere. So we're going to move into the analysis. So take a look at the euro. Still no changes. We had yesterday 1858, which I think we had the day before. You can see here that that's been keeping this market in check. That 1858 just can't seem to get beyond that. So we're just stuck like Chuck right now. I think the concern is they can kind of sense these indices are open to pulling back, and I'm not sure how this whole thing. I know that natural gas prices has been going like crazy, so people keep harping about stagflation, but and how that's going to impact the U.S. But if you look in Europe, they're the ones that are really suffering from a huge surge in energy prices, or at least with natural gas. So we'll keep the 1858 on the dip down here. We had 1782. That's actually where we're at right now, but there's a potential for them to slide a little bit lower. So we just open this just right here. You can see this body kind of comes close to these wicks, and that's right there. Actually coincides with the previous low here, right there. If we do break lower, we're going to go right here, because if we do get that pull, I don't think we're going to get the pullback today in indices, but coming into tomorrow, and where's the potential for this to break, especially if they hit some stops? I'm going to go right there with that body open. 1753. We'll move into the cable. Cable's not going anywhere either. Look at this. Holy smokes. Not going anywhere. We did get that quick run up from day before yesterday. We kept the 38.78, so they goosed the stops there, but they fell right back in place. So the 38.78 is going to remain the same way the 1858 did. We're in a little bit better place than the euro. We had 37.98 for support. I'm going to lower that. You can see this wick right here comes close to this body here, and this one here. If they break here, 37.72, then it really is bad news. Well, we'll go with this for support. 37.84 coming off of that wick. Moving on to the Aussie dollar. This thing continues to languish after that big old move and the ultimate reversal back from that. Closed out of Friday really strong, looking sharp. We're kind of hanging on here, and they were still trying to hang on, and then we just kept sliding, been under pressure since then. We got to that 73.28 and we ended up going with just 73.10. We'll stick with the 73.10 for now. I'm not sure how they want to go with this. They're just kind of holding here. So we'll stick with 73.10. Upside 73.93. We'll stick with that. So no changes here. Just a very, very tight range here the last 2 days. Even with that employment data or whatever, it's not making any difference here. Moving into the dollar yen. Finally dipped down here to test the lower side, which was 925. They had dipped a little bit lower here yesterday, got down to 912, but we had 925 right there. 921 was, we went with the body, although the level was 921. They kind of overshot it. They're holding here. We'll stick with the 925 for now. No changes. And on the upside, we'll take the under part of these bodies. See that right there? 973. And let's go move into the cash dollar index. We're really going nowhere here. Same thing here. Does let the doors open a little bit to move higher. But it's still going to be 93.04. Looking at that body right there. 93.04 resistance. Support 92.35. No changes here in the cash dollar index, but still with a bit of a bullish bet. With that, we'll move into Bitcoin. These markets aren't moving it anywhere, so the analysis is just quickly flying through. Now, with Bitcoin, we saw a big fall. We knew the door was open for them to go lower, which they did. I figured they would take out this level, but I thought they may, because of this move, they may even try and push down to 42.708. They didn't. They just took out the stops. You can see here, right there. They dipped below it. They came back, kind of closed in the middle, kind of like a medium-legged doji, and they held up pretty well because they could have still come back down. Maybe not taking out these lows, but still come back down. But they actually moved higher for the day after. Then yesterday pushed even higher, and we're pushing back a little bit further. So encouraging for those that are bull on the bull side. Just going to keep it simple and just go with the levels. We had this level before, so we'll go with 49.256. There's actually this wick here. We had a nice recovery. I'm actually going to go with this wick. And that wick is 48.482. Now they're right there, but I'm going to go with that for the resistance. Thinking maybe some people kind of pull back a little bit. We'll find out. Support. I'm going to go here to the key level 46.412. And onto the S&Ps. So S&Ps are interesting because certainly had the opportunity to come down here to the 50-day moving average. It came close, but it didn't tag it. Now, one person I was listening to yesterday after the close, their take was that a lot of people really wanted to buy here at the 50-day moving average and load up on stock dividends, the options coming up. And we simply didn't get it, and that they ended up chasing into this thing. And so maybe that is the case. Like I said, to me, I've played it cautious now with this option expiration. It's so huge, $2 trillion that were traded between individual stock options, futures, with futures options. The amount that it traded as far as options is so huge that it actually, the futures options is even bigger than the instrument. So with retail traders, that's been the push now. And I'm thinking that's something that I really don't understand in regards to the size of that and the implications. So I thought, you know what, this thing could just snap right back. And I might end up selling it here or here, and it just keeps on going higher. And Friday, if we get some crazy activity, maybe we push even further. So I chose, after covering a short from the open, just to not be in it. And so we may go in and push higher here. Resistance for right now is still going to be 44.84. At least that's the key level for 44.51 for yesterday, but the key resistance is 44.84. And support is going to be right there. That body. 44.61. You can see how this thing's almost trading like the little stages. Moving into the Nasdaq. I'll reference to what I'm looking at. So this is what I'm looking for us to go. You can see here the lows here at 1551, 1552, and then you on this day here, which was the 10th, pretty good wide range. The the volume point of control, you can see this orange line comes in right there at 15,576, which is 15,575. And then if you look here, we have the close here on that date at 15,609, which is on the 9th. So I'm looking for a move between 15,552, which doesn't seem too far away now. We got up to 15,520.75. Between here and this area here, 609, 606, which actually 609 was that close. Seems a little bit wide, but because of the option expiration, that's what I'm saying, we can get a little bit overdone and just push higher, and that's going to be for today into tomorrow. And like yesterday, we had the 38% back, was it 15,546, 456, and the market just kept pushing higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. And that's where I didn't want to get involved in a situation like that. So you can see here, pretty decent amount of volume trading right here yesterday at 15,500. I would think at least initially we challenge this area here. Here's a low here. That low comes in at 15,546. But I really wouldn't be interested until we get into this upper area, at least up to the right here. This, you see this big day here, the volume point of control right there is 15,575. That's when I say, okay, I see some good. We've checked off these two areas here, this low, this low, this low. Also, this is the value area on this day, which is the 9th. That comes in at 15,583. Key volume area on this big range day 15,575. And like I said, for the overshoot, it's looking potentially up to 609. Didn't mean we couldn't go even a little bit higher, but potentially because of those crazy options, maybe we see something like that. Not sure. So now, as far as support, right there, 15,453. Doesn't mean they can't go a little bit lower here. It's actually right there, 15,455. Take a look on this. Actually, a little bit closer down there. There's your low here. That is actually just call it 15,434. And take a look at gold, hapless gold. Suckers market. Now we'll go with 1808. We've used that level before too. Really should be 1802, but we have that body right there, 1807. So yeah, 1808. Downside 1772. And crude. That Baker moving crude. $73.64 is huge. We did come up to this body. No, they stopped right there at that body, 73.04. Why I say closes are so important. I don't know if you can push immediately back up higher. It's already stopped out a lot of people. We'll just go with that body, which is 73.04. And support. We know 71.15 was that key area. Hmm. $72.19. And there we have it. There's the bias chart for today. See Nasdaq ease back just a little bit more. S&P seem to be holding their own a little bit better than Nasdaq at the moment. But we'll get the bias chart posted. Thanks for joining us here on the European crossover webinar, and we'll get that posted into the chat room. Thank you.